Hello there, Cryptowisers. It's your old friend Milty. I'm back with another episode of Cryptowise. Today, I thought I would hop on and just look at some of the kind of latest news in altcoins, give you an update on what my portfolio is looking like and where I kind of want it to go in the next few months, because we are getting close to the Bitcoin halving. Now, different websites will have the Bitcoin halving on different days. It's not an exact science. It's kind of an approximate thing, but I kind of like to watch your guru's site today because it says it's going to happen on April 20th, 2024, which is, of course, 4/20, 2024, would be insane if that happened. The crypto world would go insane for that. But regardless, it's going to happen in approximately 85 days, in that range. Countdown is on, because we all know that in every other past crypto cycle, it has been the Bitcoin halving that has really propelled us into that next big bull run. So we're expecting sometime after April, I would say the 6 months after April, we should get some very exciting times in crypto. Right now is really accumulation phase. Get your portfolio ready, get your dry powder ready, keep up to date on what's going on in crypto. A lot of new projects are launching in the next 6 months or so. So what do you want to be in? What altcoins do you want to be in? What's your perfect portfolio? That's what I'm really thinking about, and that's what I'm focused on. So today I wanted to have a look with you guys on what my portfolio looks like right now and kind of where I want it to go, but also touch on a lot of exciting things that are happening in crypto. We know that the market has kind of been in the red the last couple of days. Well, essentially since the Bitcoin ETF launched, it's really been on a downtrend, and the last few days especially have been down. Now, for me, these are buying opportunities. Anytime we're in a bull run or the bull part of the cycle, I look at pullbacks as buying opportunities. But obviously, none of us have unlimited cash, so you got to be strategic as these dips happen. What do you want to get into? Where's your portfolio? You don't want to be left all in the crypto market in case this pullback keeps kind of going back and back and back. So, but I do see these as positive things, because a lot of the altcoins I was looking at a couple of months ago, where I thought maybe I lost my opportunity to get in, a lot of them are pulling back to a range where I think, okay, maybe this is the time to get in on those. All right, so let's have a quick look at what my portfolio looks like. This isn't exact, but I just wanted to give you kind of an idea of where I'm at right now. So basically, my portfolio looks like this right now. I got 50% still in Bitcoin. I only have 3% in Ethereum right now. So that's something that I do want to change. I do want to have more Ethereum. Now, I don't think Ethereum is going to take up the percentage that it did in the last bull run for me, which was probably up at like 20, 25%. But I do want to get it up from the 3% it's at right now. So I will be looking for opportunities to accumulate more ETH in the next few weeks and months. Then right now, Solana has 22% of my portfolio. A lot of that is because I was already big in Solana, and it has had the biggest price pump. I'm okay with that. I like having a good chunk of my portfolio in Solana. I think it's going to do great in the next bull run. And if you watch this channel, you know that I'm also big on Polkadot. That's about 10% of my portfolio right now, just because the Polkadot price really hasn't done much. So Solana has taken it over in the last few months, but I expect DOT to catch up. And all my DOT is staked, so I'm accumulating more DOT every day, and I'm keeping that in DOT. I'm definitely okay with where I'm at in my DOT portfolio. And then about 15% is in other altcoins right now. So let's have a look at, I just kind of made a quick chart here. This isn't an extensive chart of what I have. I do have a lot of very small bags and a bunch of altcoins, probably something like, I don't know, 30 other altcoins that I'm in that are just smaller parts now, though, so a fraction of a percentage. But this is where I'm at right now. My two biggest altcoin plays are Kilt, which is on the Polkadot ecosystem, within the Polkadot ecosystem. I love Kilt. I think that's going to do great this bull run. Crown is also a big chunk of my altcoin portfolio right now. That's from PhotoFinish Game. That's the horse racing ecosystem on Solana. I'm happy of having a big chunk of Crown. I really believe in that game and how big it can build over the next bull cycle. And I'll be talking a little bit about that more latest news on PhotoFinish Game, why I'm such a believer in it and why I think it can do well even in the near short term. So that's why I'm hanging on to a big percentage of Crown right now. Other plays, a lot of them are my old Polkadot bags, which I'm still hanging on to, like Integrity. I've got A-Star. At a couple of my other bags there here, you've got Chainlink. It's still a big play for me. Multiverse X, another layer one that I really like. That's one that I hung on to from the last bull run. Sui is newer for me. I'm trying to accumulate a big bag of Sui. I would like that to be, to get hopefully, probably won't get close to my Solana or my Polkadot bags, but I would love to get it up there. And the newest one, Mantle, which I did a video not too long ago. That was my last video that I made, top 2 Ethereum layer 2 altcoins. One of those was Mantle. So that's one that I have been accumulating recently. And then one that doesn't register yet on here that I just went into is Pyth Network. Now, I made a video about Pyth not too long ago, and I did finally end up buying my first little bag of Pyth, and that's one that I also want to start accumulating on the dips. So I did that recently because I wanted to stake that, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that and why I want to do that. But just in general, this is kind of what I'm looking at right now. I do want to just talk about where I want the portfolio to be. Now, I'm okay where it's at right now, but I do see myself having a smaller percentage of Bitcoin at some point in the bull cycle and my altcoins growing. One, just because I think their prices will go up, but I'm going to start when I think that I do think Bitcoin after the halving will be the one that kind of runs first. And then I'll start taking a bit of that Bitcoin, putting that into alts. And then so at some point in this cycle, I'll probably have my Bitcoin down to 40, maybe even 30% of my portfolio and 70% in alts. Then as the alts run, I will then start taking profits. And then I want to see my USDC or my stable coin fund grow to, I'd like to see that. So by the time I'm taking the most amount of profits, trying to get out of crypto as much as possible, as I think the bubble is growing to a point where it's going to burst and then we'll hit another bear market. Look, realistically, I'm not going to be totally out of alts, but I'd like to see my alt portfolio at about 10, 15% of my full portfolio. I'd like to see Bitcoin in and around 30, 40%, and the rest be in stable coins. So this is where we're at right now. This is where I'm at, and we're going to see the altcoins grow from here. Bitcoin go down a bit, and then by the end, I want to be about 40% at least in stable coins by the time I think we've reached the top of this next bull run. But I don't see that happening until sometime in 2025, and of course, I'll let you guys know when I'm starting to take profits and all that good stuff. The other thing to keep in mind about my portfolio is that it does not include my major Degen plays. Now, Marvin and I are creating an ultimate Degen small cap portfolio. We're going to be picking, I think, 10 projects right now. We're going through it. We're researching. We've got a bunch that we've picked out. We're going to be putting an allocation into at least 10 of these altcoins, and we're going to be following that for the bull run. So that will be fun. So make sure, if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to Cryptowise. I know we haven't been doing a ton of videos lately, but we're going to be doing more and more. I promise. I know I always say that. I promise that we're going to be doing more videos, but ultimately we would love to do daily videos. We're going to build up to that again in this bull run. but we just have too many things on the go. But I know the one thing that Marvin and I are working on is our Degen portfolio. You're not going to want to miss that. So make sure you're subscribed to Cryptowise. Hit that notification button because we don't have a regular time or day for our videos. So you're going to want to be notified when we do drop any videos, including our Degen Ultimate Small Cap portfolio for this bull run. That's going to be a lot of fun. And while you're at it, smash that like button for this video if you don't mind, because that helps people find us. And the more people that find us, then the more videos that we can do for you. All right, so that's where I'm at with my portfolio. I want to just go through some of the news that's been happening in crypto lately. This is one thing that I think is really important. Satoshi VM token dips as much as 38% amid ape terminal controversy on X. Now, basically, if you haven't followed this story, Satoshi VM token was a brand new token that came out a couple of days ago, and Ape Terminal is a launchpad that had promised a certain allocation, or at least the potential of an allocation for people who are participating in Ape Terminal. And now that it's launched, a lot of people are saying, actually, no one from the community got Satoshi VM, and the whole allocation went to the team. I don't know actually what went on here. Actually, in one of the comments, one of the CryptoWiser viewers, I don't know, put a comment about either Marv or I being part of Satoshi VM. I can tell you 100% that is not true. Neither Marv and I have any allocation to Satoshi VM. We were not one of the influencers pumping Satoshi VM before it came out. Now, I did notice a lot of the other influencers were pumping Satoshi VM, and this is something that you have to keep in mind that's going to happen a lot in this bull run, where influencers will be offered allocation into a private sale for a certain token in exchange for pumping or talking about it. Honestly, this is just common practice in crypto. This happened a lot in the last bull run. So know that if Marv and I are involved in a token, we'll let you know right off the bat. But if you see basically every influencer talking about a new token that's coming out, you can just assume that they've got an allocation in it. Are they pump and dumping it? Not necessarily. That doesn't mean that it's a pump and dump. Necessarily, they might really believe in the project, and for them to get an allocation, it makes sense to just get the allocation, talk about it on their channel if they're going to be talking about it anyway. The thing to keep in mind, if you see it, every influencer talking about a new token doesn't necessarily mean that that new token is the next big thing. It could be because that team offered allocation to all those influencers. But I would also say this: if every influencer wants in on an allocation, it probably means that there's something real there. A lot of shit tokens, a lot of little small teams will offer allocations to all the influencers, and most influencers will turn them down. That's not saying that all influencers are created equal, but I know for Marv and I, we would have no interest in an allocation if it wasn't a project that we actually wanted to be invested in. And the strategy for most influencers is get your money out when the token launches. Most of the big influencers get offered all the allocations. And then in their mind, but there's a vesting. So they'll get a certain amount of percentage of those tokens when the token launches. And for the most part, they'll want to sell and get their money out. And then they'll have the rest of the allocations will come in a vesting schedule, whether that's monthly or quarterly or whatever it is. So it doesn't necessarily mean it's a pump and dump. It's just a smart approach to get your money out as soon as possible, and then you have more tokens to play around with. But that's not really what I wanted to talk about here and focus on. What I wanted to talk about mostly is launchpads, whether or not that is a good strategy. If you weren't around in the last bull run, launchpads were a huge thing, and how they work essentially is most launchpads have their own token. So some, for example, would be Polkastarter, Seedify, Paid Network, BSC Pad, TrustSwap, TrustPad. There's a lot of ones that would be called XPad or whatnot. And Ape Terminal is one of those. And I guess what people are claiming is that they're not actually giving that allocation to their community. Normally, what would happen is you get X amount of the token of that launchpad. The more you have, the more you stake on the launchpad, the more chance you get of getting an allocation. Some launchpads, if you are top tier of that launchpad, you're guaranteed an allocation of any IDO that comes out from that launchpad. So again, Seedify, if you go onto their website, I'm not on Seedify, I don't use it, but I assume it works like every other launchpad where if you have S Fund token, you stake it, then you're guaranteed certain allocation. And again, this is the paid network one. And if you go, so the paid token, so these are the ones that completed. So if you had the paid token, you staked it, depending on what tier you are, you get a certain allocation for these projects that launched on paid network. Now, just to keep in mind, this last bull run actually did work, and you could make good money off of even the tiny allocations that you get through these. And it seems like it's coming back, but we don't know for sure if this is going to work. I can tell you right now that I don't have any Launchpad tokens. I'm not involved in them, but I am looking. I'm going to be watching and seeing if these IDOs start making money. But the downside in crypto is you just never know if the people running these Launchpads are on the up and up. And I guess here, at least the accusation, I don't know if this is true or not, is the Ape Terminal team is pretending that you can win an allocation into something like Satoshi VM, which was a huge project that everyone wanted an allocation for. And if you were lucky enough to get a small allocation at the TGE price, you could have made a lot of money on it. But what they're saying is that the Ape Terminal team just kept those tokens or pretended to giving them out, but they were actually just the wallets of the team. Again, I don't know if this is true or not, but this is crypto, and you just never know who to trust really in crypto. We learned that in the last bull run too. The other thing to keep in mind is this is really just a marketing play for these new projects. So Satoshi VM would be using Ape Terminal to basically market the token, and they're going to say, look, I'll give you a small amount of allocation that you can give out to your community. And in this case, it was so small that you would not guaranteed an allocation by participating. It was more of a lottery, and you just hope for the best. And that's mostly how these play. Unless you're top tier, only very few people would get guaranteed allocations, and only that is for some projects. So I don't know if the Launchpad is the way to go right now. I've decided to stay away from it so far in this bull run, but I'm going to be watching it, seeing it, because in the last bull run, it was a decent play. So anyway, that's something to keep in mind. Let me know in the comments, are you someone that are part of Launchpads? Which Launchpads are you part of? Do you believe in them as a way to make money in crypto, especially as these newer projects are coming out? Do you believe that this is a great strategy? It means that you have to lock up a certain amount of your capital into these Launchpad tokens just in the hope of getting small allocations into new tokens. Let me know if that's something that you do. For me, at least now, I'm staying away from it. Now, the strategy that I have been trying to be more active in, because I haven't been the best at this. I've gotten some airdrops in the past, and most of my airdrops have just been surprises, things that I organically have tried or used, and then all of a sudden I get an airdrop. Now that in crypto they've become airdrops, since Uniswap did their big airdrop years ago, that was in 2020, which I did get a bunch of Uni tokens because I was using Uniswap at the time, but I wasn't doing it strategically. If I had been, I would have created 1,000 MetaMask wallets and used it that way. Unfortunately, I just used the same wallet and I only got one airdrop. That was before airdrops were really a thing. Now it's a lot harder because you get a lot of bots out there or try to farm these airdrops, but even not the bots, a lot of very sophisticated people in crypto are trying to get the airdrops now. For projects that I really like, if there's a chance to get an airdrop, then I have been trying to be more actively participating in the airdrop strategy. So when I mentioned in my altcoins that I recently bought some Pyth network, that was because there is a rumor out there that if you stake Pyth, that you will be eligible for a lot of airdrops, that projects that use Python Network as an oracle. We did see that one of them came out and said that they would be airdropping to anyone who has been staking Python Network. Because I did want to buy Pyth and I want to own it for this bull run, I think it could do really well. I bought a little bit and I'm staking that now just in case this airdrop thing is a real thing. I bought a little bit of that. But because I do still think there's a chance that Pyth will have a bit more of a pullback in price, I didn't just go all in on it. It's something I'm going to be DCAing more and more in on the dips. But I wanted to get in a little bit and stake some. So I did do that. So that's one. The second one, which is another Solana project, is the Drift protocol. It's a perp trading platform. It's a huge one on Solana. They just came out with their points strategy. So that is a real thing now. You can start collecting points if you use Drift. So I've been using it more and more. I've been putting more capital on Drift. And again, I don't know how much the airdrop is going to be worth because a ton of people are using Drift now. A lot of people are trying to farm the airdrop by using it. So how much airdrop I would manage to get, I'm not sure, but because I do like Drift, I think it's a platform that I'll use on Solana. It's one that I'm participating in, trying to earn some points there. And yeah, hopefully, you never know. The airdrop for me is more like icing on the cake. If I really already like the project and they have a point system or there is rumors of an upcoming airdrop, or if it's something like Pyth where the airdrop already happened, I didn't get any, but there's rumors of other projects giving you airdrops for staking in Pyth. If it's something I already want to do, and that's just an added bonus, then I'm all for it. I'm going to be trying to do that more and more, especially at this phase of the bull run. So those are two that would be totally icing on the cake for me. I like Drift as a platform, as a trading platform. So I mean, you're going to use it anyway. Might as well try to get the airdrop if that happens. And with Pyth, it's a token I already want to own. So might as well do it now, stake some, and you never know. I might get to enjoy some sweet airdrops from other projects that are using Python Network that way. So anyway, those are two strategies anyway to build your portfolio up: the airdrop strategy or the IDO strategy through the launchpads. For me, I'm staying away from launchpads at the moment, but watching it very closely to see how that's going to fit into this bull cycle. It was a big part of the last one, but I am dipping my toes a little bit more into the airdrop strategy. Other big news in crypto, new coin alert. This is something I don't know a ton about, but AltLayer coin came out today, and that's something I think that I'll start to watch. Again, this was something that I think through Binance. I'm not on Binance anymore. I've actually really reduced my use of centralized exchanges huge. But this is a coin that people could have got through Binance, and that is AltLayer. It's a trending coin on CoinGecko. So it's the alt token. Right now it's sitting at 32 cents. It's a big token. It just launched. It's already got a market cap of 360 million, which is a fully diluted of over 3 billion. Which is a major project. So anyway, let me know in the comments, did anyone of you get AltLayer? One of the reasons why I noticed it today was this tweet from the Kusama Escape, and they mentioned it. AltLayer is a new, highly scalable layer 2. It is designed as a modular and pluggable framework for a multi-chain, multi-VM world led by Dr. Yoki Jia, who is the former director of Parity. And you know I love Polkadot. So Parity Technologies created the core infrastructure for Polkadot. So obviously that got my attention. And so this is a project that I really want to look into more and more. So I've got AltLayer now on my watch list because the team is made up of people, including Gavin Wood. That's right, Gavin Wood, the creator of Polkadot. So definitely curious about this as another layer 2. You don't see Gavin Wood as part of anything other than Polkadot. So, but this is backed by, they've got Gavin Wood right there and a lot of other impressive names. You've got Ryan Selkis of Masari on here. So clearly this is a huge project and one to keep on your radar. That is the alt layer token. So brand new token. There's going to be a lot of new tokens coming out and some major ones. That's also why I say on this channel a lot, when you enter a new bull run, you got to be very careful. How much of your capital do you want tied up in some of the old projects? How much do you want on the sidelines so that you can jump in on some of these new projects? We know that every cycle, usually the coins that do the best are new tokens. So something like alt layer could be one. It could be the next Solana, say, in this cycle. We're just not sure. So definitely a portion of my portfolio in the next weeks and months are going to be going to new tokens again. For example, like Pith Network, new token this cycle. That's one that I've bought a little bit and I'll be buying more and more. Mantle, again, new token this cycle. Although it's the old BitDAO, what they're doing is brand new. Their branding is brand new, and now it's the Mantle token. So something to keep in mind. Probably the best returns are going to come from new tokens this time around. So that's why alt layer, although I didn't ape into it today. I didn't FOMO into it, but it's on my watch list now, and I'll be doing more and more research on it. And I'll do, if I do end up buying any alt layer, I'll of course make a video on it and let you guys know that. I want to talk more about Polkadot a little bit here. Obviously, one of the big ecosystems, I'm into it. There's a lot of controversy going on about the Open Gov platform. The treasury, how the treasury is spent for Polkadot is totally decentralized now. And people vote. Basically, anyone can put a proposal in, and if you own DOT, you can vote on either giving them that money from the treasury or not. Cryptowise actually put in a proposal for a marketing proposal. We wanted to do a series called Connecting the Dots. We were declined, which sucked for us because we have backed Polkadot more than probably any influencer out there. We talk about Polkadot as much more than anyone probably. So sucked for us that it was disappointing for us that the Polkadot community didn't support us. We really think if anyone out there are authentic influencers who love Polkadot, it would be us. But there's a huge controversial one out there right now, which is the crypto banter one. I don't know if any of you cryptowisers watch crypto banter. I do. I know Marv watches it. We love it. Ran, who's the host of that channel, the owner, host of it. I think he's the best in the business, to be honest. The guy, in terms of a media, a pro, someone who's just a great host for a crypto channel. I honestly think he's the best out there. That said, he's asked for $300,000 worth of DOT for just 3 months. So $100,000 worth of DOT per month to just include DOT on the channel. Because I watch his channel, I know he's not a huge fan of DOT. So this is a bit disappointing. I would vote no on this, but this has been a huge controversy within the DOT ecosystem. A lot of people are saying, yes, he's a huge channel, we want it. A lot of whales are voting yay on this or aye. It's been a back and forth, huge back and forth on this. Right now, actually, he's losing. A lot of the time he's been winning this. Over 90 million DOT has said aye and 92 million DOT has said nay. This is a huge proposal. And look, I have a lot of questions around whether it's too early in the process for DOT to totally democratize its governance and the treasury. I do worry about this. Is there a way to manipulate the treasury that could be really bad for DOT? But having gone through this process, I got to say they are way ahead of the curve of some of these other blockchains. And if you participate in it, it's pretty cool, this Open Gov concept. So if you're into crypto and you don't own any DOT yet, I do recommend get yourself a little bit of DOT and play around with the Open Gov, voting on them, reading the proposals, seeing, this is the future of decentralized layer 1 blockchains or layer 0 is governance should work like this. Basically, if you own the token, you should be involved in the governance of it. Again, I don't know if this is going to hurt DOT or not. Is it too early for something like this? But it is pretty cool just to see it in practice, because this is, if you want a decentralized world, this is what it looks like. And this proposal 401 has been the most controversial. I think it's way too much. $100,000 worth of DOT per month seems crazy. And bit disappointed. Rand has been very silent. I've watched the show every day. They have not talked about the proposal at all. I haven't seen him on Twitter mention it at all, even though there's a lot of people within DOT talking about either the pros of this or the cons of this. He has not weighed in on it at all. I'd be really curious to hear what he has to say, especially considering on the channel they say that they don't take money from projects to promote them. But how is this any different? In the recent past has said that DOT essentially is dead. It's not a project he believes in. Then how can he justify taking this much DOT, and what would he say about it if he did get that DOT? I'd be very curious to know. But right now, actually, democracy seems to be working in that it does seem like an outlandish amount of money for him to ask for, and the nays are winning right now, even though some major whales have been voting aye on this. Anyway, very interesting to watch. All right, moving along. Just want to talk about PhotoFinish Live, which is one of my favorite Web3 games, actually my favorite. I showed you in my portfolio that the crown token for PhotoFinish is one of my biggest alt bags. And some cool news have come out from PhotoFinish. They're always coming out with a lot of news. This, to me, is the gold standard for any crypto game in terms of the communication they have with the community and just how much stuff that they do in terms of building the game. So some very cool things. So one of the things to talk about is, just so you know, if you're someone who's in the Solana ecosystem, but you're not into PhotoFinish and you're kind of wondering if it's as big as everyone says it is. Well, none of the transactions in the game are on the blockchain yet. So that's a big thing that is coming in the next few months, is you're going to get to see all the sales, the races, the transactions in Crown and Derby, anything that happens in game. Right now, that's not being recorded on the Solana blockchain. That's going to start happening in a couple months. Once that happens, this is going to blow up, because people are going to realize how much activity is happening on PhotoFinish compared to the rest of Solana. It's going to dwarf it. It's going to be insane. So that's something one of the PhotoFinish community's been waiting for that will be huge. A couple other big things that they're doing, though, as the game grows, one of the things that they're going to be adding, is the ability to loan out your horses to people, because a lot of the horses are getting really expensive to buy them. So they're adding the loans and rentals. So it hasn't actually launched yet. So, but you can see that Ian, the founder, CEO of PhotoFinish, put this out on Twitter, and people went crazy for it. He's playing around with this idea of being able to loan out your horse. Other people would be able to race your horse for you, and you would share in the profit of it. Basically, yeah, this idea that you could be able to rent or loan horses so that people who can't afford to buy them will still be able to play in the game. And then from a marketing perspective, this was huge. This came out a couple of weeks ago now, but the news that Alex Becker, he is now an official consultant with PhotoFinish Game. He's one of the founders of Neo Tokyo. He's basically one of the biggest names in all of crypto gaming, from the influencer side and from, I guess, a builder side too. He's got almost 1 million followers. He's come on board as a consultant to PhotoFinish. So really excited to see from a marketing perspective where PhotoFinish can go with people like Alex Becker now on board. I think we're just scratching the surface, and we've seen a big dip in Crown. This is why I wanted to give an update, is because a lot of the time when I talk about Crown, it's like at an all-time high, and now we're seeing a big dip in Crown. It's down at under 60 cents. It hasn't been there for a while. It's been basically at its lowest that it's been since December. And so if you're not into PhotoFinish yet, or if the past videos that I've made, you've seen that, Crown is over at $1 or whatnot, and you've been waiting for a pullback. Now is a chance to do some research on the game, see the latest news that's going on, and see if it's something that you might want to get involved with. At least right now, Crown is at a discount than from where it has been in the last few months. All right, guys. Anyway, that's enough for today's video, but it's good to hop on and talk crypto with you guys. Again, if you're not a subscriber to Cryptowise, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like today's video if you haven't already. That would be much appreciated. There's going to be a ton of crypto talk on Cryptowise, so make sure that you have that notification bell on as well if you are a subscriber, so you know anytime Marv and I drop a video. As I said, we're going to be talking some Degen stuff in the next couple of weeks. We're going to be revealing our ultimate Degen portfolio. These are tiny, tiny. We're looking at things under $20 million market cap, a lot of them at like under $5 million market cap. So we're going to be sharing those plays with you very soon. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. All right, guys, as always, thanks for watching. I'm Milton. Until next time, over and